Even runners, you know this, runners think streakers are crazy. If crazy people think that streakers are crazy, it's really crazy.
Today's Thanksgiving 2020. It's the first day of the holiday streakers, and I'm out starting off my streak with a little 6-mile run out at Angarney Park. The sun has come out. I'm running in shorts and short sleeves. It's a great day. This is my 5th year doing the holiday streakers. So in some ways I've got a streak within a streak going on. And I've been about half and half on the previous 4 years. 2 years I've managed to streak all the way through, and 2 I've had breaks in my streak. So this year I wanted to make sure I nailed it, so I reached out to 3 of my friends who have incredible streaks and asked their advice.
My name is MANION, and I have been, today is day 236 of my run streak. I started April 7th. Yes, so at first it was 2 miles minimum. Unless I ran over a half marathon the day before, then I could drop it to a mile.
Okay.
And on day 30, I did a 4x4x48.
Yeah.
And so day 32 or whatever that was, it was like my first 1 mile. And, you know, it was just several hours after I had finished my 4x4x48.
Okay, my name is ELADIO VALDEZ, and I have attempted 3 streaks. One I am currently doing. My first streak was 1999. I didn't change a thing about my running, and that's why I got injured after 78 days. Then in 2018, in advance of me turning 50, I wanted to do something epic. So I was able to manage every day. I ran 50 minutes. I averaged 50 minutes. That was successful. But the problem with that one is I got so burnt out that when I wanted that to be done 3 months before it was done. But as you know how runners are, we gutted it out, and I gutted it out, and I was burnt out.
Yeah.
So this time, with the pandemic being what it was, I decided to make this the best of what did I learn from those first 2 streaks? So I'm currently on day 248 of running at least a mile every day, which I just keep it simple. I go by 10 minutes. I have figured it out on my 3rd try. My goal for this streak is to keep going until we have all restrictions removed and we go back to normal. That's my at least point. So whenever that is, hopefully sometime next year, I'll say, okay, I made it. I made it through the pandemic. I started 10 days after everything was locked down way back in March, and I've made it. Do I want to keep going? I'll cross that bridge later, but that's the bridge I at least want to cross.
John CRUM. I am currently at 1,830 straight days of running every day, at least 1 mile. Tuesday was my 5-year anniversary. So I'm 5 years, 3 days of running at least 1 mile every day. I think I initially was like, let's do a week, and then maybe a month, and then let's say, hey, let's do 30 days. And then it just, you get to 30 days and you're like, well, I better keep going.
Part of the reason I started the streak was because I was, quarantine kind of pulled the rug out from everybody, and I needed to do something every day.
Yeah.
And I was suffering with running because I'm like, well, I don't have time to go run the long distance that I wanted to run. So that's kind of where this got started. I'm like, oh, well, we'll just do this for the next couple of months through quarantine and see,
This streak, and I've run near 30 marathons, 28. So lots of marathons, lots more halves, lots more 5Ks, 10Ks, lots of hard training runs, and all in on 38 years of running and racing and training and all that. There's no question that a streak is the most impressive thing I've ever done, because it's about consistency.
What do you see kind of in the future? Do you have an ultimate goal, or is it just kind of, I'm going to keep doing it as long as I can?
I'll probably just keep going as long as I can. If something were to happen, I don't know if I'd actually streak again.
I did. You don't know when it was coming. And so I just kept it on. And then I hit day 100 and I'm like, okay, like I'm in. And so this is just what I do now, you know, like I'll go as far as I can, and then I'll stop.
On that last day, and on day 365 of the year-long streak, oh man, I broke down. I cried with a mile to go of my final. I mean, I was bawling because I had been holding up for so long. Like, you know, am I really gonna reach a year of running every day for 50 minutes? You know, you can think about it. You can go for weeks and average 50 minutes, months even, but a year, that's way off the charts impressive of tenacity. So yes, I celebrated for sure. Not wearing a watch. I didn't even wear a watch for like a week after I was no more measurements. I just want to have a vacation.
Sometimes it's morning, sometimes it's my lunch break, sometimes it's before bed. And it's kind of opened my window of, I can run at any time.
What do you do on the worst of the weather days?
Just bundle up. I mean, that's why that's why you pay all that money for good cold weather gear. Is go as long as I can, you know, through cold and flu season. You know, there was one time I had vertigo, and I got out there early that morning and went for, you know, it was a slow, unsteady run, but I got it in. So right now there's no quitting point at this point.
The day I was going to quit 31 days before the streak ended in 2018. So we're now on Christmas time in December. And I had this very, I had a really bad sickness. Basically what happened was sores in my mouth, so it was hard to eat. I could only drink soups, swollen lymph glands, raw sore throat, running in cold air, weaker and weaker. I lost a pound a day. So over 8 days, I lost 8 pounds. And on Sunday and Tuesday, I was so tired in the streak that I actually, and it was like in the 20s, I went over to the sidewalk when I reached my 30-minute minimum, and I laid down and closed my eyes. I was that exhausted because I couldn't sleep at night. I had backaches, turning and tossing, so I wasn't sleeping for 8 days. I wasn't really eating. I was trying to drink as much as I can. I felt like crap. And then breathing in that cold air, I was like, I just wanted to be done. And so Sunday I laid down for like 5 minutes, stopping my watch, of course. I'm starting to get cold. Okay, fine, finish the run. Same thing on Tuesday. Then that night I told my girlfriend and my 2 kids, I'm done. I'm amazed that I made it this far, but I'm done. And they said, no, you're not done. So I was thankful that they were the ones that kept me going. Here's your shoes. Here's your watch. You're going to show up tomorrow and you're going to go. I don't care how slow it is, Dad, but you're going to go. You're going to show up. And I go, God, you better make this one easy because I'm doing it for them, not me anymore, because it sucks. And that 9th day, I started feeling better. And the 10th day and the 11th day and on and on. So I reached the lowest of lows and I showed up the next day and fortunately it turned around. And then I was like, okay, it's going to take the Russian army to stop this streak from here on out. It's going to happen.
What tips do you have for others that would be interested in streaking?
I mean, I don't see a reason not to start. Like it's a mile, and you know, like if you're running and you're not a runner and you want to start running, like get out there and walk jog it. You know, like it really does. Like I don't even think about it anymore. It's like I said, it's just something you do. So, you know, it's kind of creating that habit.
I'd say the 4 things would be, first of all, have easy days. Whatever that your minimum is, if it's a mile, if it's 2 miles, make sure you have at least 1 easy run a week and cut yourself some slack. Definitely listen to your body. If you're recovering from an injury, if you're putting in, if you're putting in some intensity in your runs, if you're doing hill workouts, make sure you listen to your body. especially this time of year with sickness going around. You need to make sure you take some easy days if you have just a normal cold or flu. A lot of, a lot of easy miles. A lot of my effort is easy effort. I've done, in that 5 years, I've run over 40 marathon or ultra distance, either races or training runs, and I still get out there that next day, that next week, and get at least a mile in. And probably the last thing I would encourage is get your run done early. That way things don't come, that way, work doesn't pop up. You have to go to a meeting. You have honeydews. If you have to take your kids to some type of practice, things don't get in the way of your run, and you're not out there. It's not 10 o'clock at night and you're thinking, oh man, I forgot my run, and you have to lace up and go out.
Number one, you have to have a big enough why. You really do. You have to, I mean, in that case, I felt like I was doing it for them. Ultimately, you have to do it for you. There's a foe. It's a common enemy all of us are dealing with. It's called COVID-19, and I'm not backing down until it backs down. And so I have a Godzilla to take on. I have a dragon to slay, and I didn't have that before. So all this anguish and stress that has impacted me and all my loved ones and everybody that I know, I have a lot of ammunition. My why is huge. It's actually way bigger. I'm remotely nowhere near being burnt out, because I'm like, I got a lot more. I know you do too, but we're going to keep going until you back down. Why? Number two, adjust. You have to adjust. When you're streaking, you got to pick. If you're streaking, you're not training. If you're streaking, you're not running. You're streaking. And what that means is if you used to run 4 days a week before you started the streak, or 5 days, you got to turn your off days into ridiculously relaxed, short runs.
A mile's really fairly easy to do. So, and I usually keep that nice and easy. If I need to do a run walk because I'm really sore, I might do 2 miles that day, but it's fairly easy effort on my easy days.
You're the one choosing to do this. Don't think of it as putting a gun to your head. Think of it as choosing. It's an honor. Think of it as an honor to find out what you're made of, one day at a time.
It's been so great. I think it's been great for everybody, and everybody in my family that has to deal with me through all of this. I'm home all day, okay, she's leaving. She's gonna be better when she gets back, because I've always said, I don't feel like going for a run today, but I've never came home from a run and said, oh, I wish I hadn't done that.
Just finished up the edits on the Holiday Streaker video, and can't believe how lucky I am that I know these three very inspiring individuals and got to hear their stories firsthand. I'll put links down below on where to find them all. And if you've got any streaks you want to share, let me know about that in the comments too.